I'm Makoto Tamada. You are watching Asia Motorsports Hour.
This week, the grimy life of the race engineer. We go behind the scenes with the hidden heroes of road racing. And I have a dream. The Honda Asia Dream Racing Team gear up for the Asia Road Racing season. And the Estemo Honda Thailand Racing Team announced their lineups for 2022. The Asia Motorsports Hour with Idemitsu, right now. Yes, team announcements coming thick and fast as the new road racing season draws closer. The Estemo Honda Thailand team first up, unveiling their contenders for the Asian Road Racing Championships, as well as the All Japan Championships and the domestic Thai BRIC Championships. Drum roll, please. 3 ARRC teams announced at the ASB 1000 Championships. Thai Pasawit has been selected for his first Superbike event. At a busy season for Pasawit, he's also slated to race Superstock 600 at the BRIC Thailand Championships. His Estemo SI Honda Thailand 1000 teammate will be Japan's Kazuki Sakamoto, runner-up in the All Japan Championships last season. At 600cc, 2 racers, both doubling up by competing at the BRIC Championships as well. Former Moto 3 racer Chip Nakarin, joined by New Kritchipon. And at 250, a chance for Fim Piawat, who first came to international attention debuting at the 2017 Suzuka Endurance 4 Hours event. Makoto Tamada will be given a wonderful opportunity to race at Superstock 600 in the All Japan Championships. We'll keep a close eye on Makoto and her progress throughout the season. Her teammates at All Japan will include Kazuma Watanabe at JSB 1000 and Sakamoto, who will double up with the ARRC. On top of this, Honda Thailand Racing also outlined their international rider development plans. Somkyot Chantra and Tachikon Boisri continuing at World Moto 2 level. Okay, that's Honda Thai Racing Team. What about plans for the Honda Asia Dream Racing Team? Formed as recently as 2019 with a convergence of riders and engineers from Japan and ASEAN, the team, managed by Makoto Tamada, have ambitions to become a major player on both the Asian and the world scene. Malaysia Superbike champion Zakwan Zaidi, a 2-time ARRC winner, and former ARRC 250 champion Gary Salim are the 2 star names who will be leading the Honda Asia Dream Racing Challenge when the SB 1000 Championship on the ARC revs up at the end of March. A winning rider on both the MotoGP and World Superbike Championships, Makoto Tamada is the man behind the Honda Asia vision.
そうですね、ザクワンとゲリーなんですけども、2022年も、ザクワンに関してはアジアオールホンダの中で一番速いライダーだと思ってます。で、ゲリーに関しても、かなりポテンシャルを持っているので、育て方次第ではまだまだ速くなるライダーなので非常に楽しみにしてます。
A lot of the confidence in the team is surely based upon the engineering of the new Honda CBR 1000 Triple R. The riders love it. Tamada, though, on the fence.
僕らはまだこの新型の CBR トリプル R を一度も実はまだ走らせてないんですね。で、ポテンシャルはもちろん他のレースを見る限りかなり高くなってるとは思ってます。で、もちろんあれから新型が出てからは数年経つので、さらに良くなってると思ってるので。
Formed in 2019 using a combination of ASEAN riders supported by ASEAN and Japanese engineers, the team have ambitions for both their individual members and the team as a whole to become major players on the world road racing scene.
そうです。このプロジェクト、一つのチームにいろんな国籍のアジアの、スタッフが集まってるんですけども、このプロジェクトはホンダがこういうのは初めてやったことで、非常に今後も大事なプロジェクトの一つだと思ってます。なので、何が何でも、このプロジェクトで、さらにみんなが高いレベルになるようにやっていきたいと思ってます。
Honda Asia Dream Racing are a young team who made a strong start in the sport before COVID-19 intervened. In 2019, HADR finished 4th in the Asia Superbike 1000cc class, the ASB 1000, with Zak Wanzadi 3rd in the Rider Championship. The team also finished 12th in the All Japan JSB 1000s and took 11th place in the Suzuka 8-hour endurance race. The obvious question for Tamada, what's the ambition for 2022?
もちろん、レースに出る限り僕らはチャンピオンを狙ってます。それは僕だけじゃなくライダーも同じで全員がそう思ってます。そのためにはもちろんライダーのポテンシャルをもっと上げたり、エンジニアリングスタッフのレベルを全員のレベルを上げて、でアジアの中ではぶっちぎりでチャンピオンが取れるように頑張っていきます。
The Honda Asia Dream Racing with Showa team are the subject of today's 2 quiz questions. Head to the ARRC Facebook page for a chance to win polo shirts courtesy Idemitsu. First question. Team manager Makoto Tamada was a fabulous racer in his day, winning races in both the MotoGP and World Superbike Championships. Can you remember from our report exactly how many races he won combined, both championships? How many races did Tamada win? After the break, change of emphasis. From the riders, we move to that much maligned group known as race engineers. Their work is often dirty, painstaking, and out of the spotlight. Or is it? A day in the life of a race engineer follows the Idemitsu choir. Any road racing fan would assume that the most important relationship in high-speed racing is the one between the rider and the bike. Whilst that's not wide of the mark, considering one can't exist without the other, at least on the racetrack, it's only fair we set things right by shining the light on the most vital cog in the machine.
Tugas saya kebiasaannya merangkung pada kita plan dari segi setup motor dengan kita plan the session lah. Dan saya juga crew chief dan juga data guy, especially untuk 600. Saya buat setup, discuss dengan rider based on the feedback, and then kita set up plan the session during every session lah, qualifying ke, race ke, or the suspension setup, or the engine mapping, dengan juga session plan lah.
Redwan Muhammad, the chief crew of SIC Racing Team, is the man responsible for ensuring his team's bikes are all perfectly tuned and ready for action. He's at the Malaysia Superbikes Championship, or the MSBK, and his team is involved in the 250 and 600cc categories in race 1 of round 2 of this championship.
Team SIC, setiap motor ada 2 mekanik. Bawah saya semua ada, sekarang ada 9 mekanik sekarang. Satu motor ada 1 mekanik.
Redwan knows the demands and expectations of race day very well, especially being in a setup that has garnered international exposure, such as the FIM CEV Moto 2 Championship. So he comes prepared, knowing the team's mantra doesn't change or waver, regardless location or championship.
Kita always aim for the win. Despite kita faham technical challenges, tapi we always aim for the win. Our backup plan is we are ready with the bike setup. Based on the previous round, kita dah ada good valid data daripada previous round punya race. we have a good reference how to improve from the last wet race, last 2 weeks on Sunday. I think in the wet setup we are quite okay. We are quite good, competitive.
And whilst this technical maestro knows his crew members are geared up for anything that comes their way, he also hopes the race weekend will be a rewarding experience for his chargers.
A good race weekend is, the first thing is, kita tak ada apa-apa technical hiccups. Everything works well. And the second thing is, we are happy if we have a good challenge from any other riders. So we push our crew more and find a little bit more, something extra compared to previously. Previously, we were quite content with our performance. Now we have the competition level has bringing up a little bit from Honda. So we see this is a good challenge, opportunity for everybody not to stay content or be comfortable in what we are working with. So we step up our game.
The winning mindset of constantly stepping up the game permeates through the SIC Racing Team garage. Even the boys on the grid are getting a whiff of it. The 250cc riders Daniel Sharmi and Hakim Danish finished first and third respectively, whilst in the 600s it was a clean sweep for Team SIC Racing, with all three riders, Ibrahim and Adam Noureddin and Sharafuddin Azman, making it onto the podium. Whilst basking on the team's achievement, Redouane gives his fair assessment, with his eyes already focused on the next two races the following day.
The plan is now we will review all the data. We just got the bike now, and we will debrief with the rider, especially on the technical side. There's nothing much that we can do now. I think we can optimize a little bit more on the handling side, on the stability, on braking stability, and also on the agility on the turning. But on the engine side, we will try to look something to improve for tomorrow. Ultimately, we can only set up the bike up to a certain extent because the race keep on changing. I mean, from the beginning of the races, the fuel load is full, the tire is good, suspension and everything is in order. But after a couple of laps, the tires start to drop, the fuel load is less, and the engine power drops a little bit. So the rider has to keep on changing his style throughout the race and manage his style.
Some great insights into the life of a crew chief there. Pushpa Raja producing that item. Change of subject. The Honda Asia Dream Racing Team are the subject of today's two quiz questions. Head to the ARRC Facebook page to give your answers, and you could win polo shirts courtesy Idemitsu. Second question of the day. How many wins did the Honda Asia Dream Racing Team record in their debut 29 season in the ASB 1000 Championship? A clue? It was more than one. After the break, we take a look at one of those 2019 wins for the team in our classic race. Zakwan Zaidi knows the Sepang circuit like the back of his hand, and on board a new bike with a new team, he was champing at the bit to record a first win. Zakwan stars in our classic race next. Welcome back to the Asia Motorsports Hour. We're gearing up for a new road racing season, COVID-free, we hope. ARRC testing starts in less than 2 months, but testing for Australia's Superbike Championship, the ASBK, starts this week at Phillip Island. And the championship received a major boost earlier in the week when defending champion Wayne Maxwell decided he was going to defend his title.
This is all about Wayne Maxwell. What a brilliant rider he is. He is, and he deserves that 3 times championship tag as well. But the other thing was Troy Herfoss, his great rival over there to congratulate him, along with Nathan Spiteri on the 78 machine, a long-time supporter and companion of Wayne Maxwell, and doing a great job on board that BMW for his first outing this weekend as well.
The 39-year-old Ducati racer and 3-time champion, who'd said he was going to retire at the end of last season, decided to reverse that decision in a bid to become the only man to ever win 3 titles in a row. You're watching the Asia Motorsports Hour with Idemitsu. Our classic race for this week is something of a modern classic. We take you to the first round of the 2019 season at Sepang in Malaysia. Honda Asia Dream Racing with Shaw were a brand new team keen to make a mark on the ARRC. They did not finish in the opening race of the season, so needed a vast improvement on day 2. With Malaysia's Zakwan primed and ready, they had the perfect rider to make their delayed statement of intent.
Safety car comes into view, headlights blaring. The red lights go off and we are underway, and it's a solid start from Titipong and a great start from behind him by Amadou Destera. Amadou Destera has come from a long way behind on the Victor Motor Racing side. Yuki Ito it is indeed, who's come from 3rd row of the grid and will take P3 going into the tentative turn P1.
Absolutely, and it was Zakwan Zayedi who led the pack away there. Another Yamaha up the front there as well. That could be Yuki. Look how hard it's raining now. The rain is certainly coming down. That's the sort of changes that we're going to see in this race. But everybody has picked the pace up. You can see them almost with their knees on the ground. Look at the spray there. 76, it is Yuki Ito out front, of course, with Apiwath also in 2nd position. So a great start by those 2 guys.
Absolutely terrific start by them. They've decided they may as well gamble, as the rain isn't so heavy here. It will be interchangeable because this is a big track, a big circuit, and very, very changeable weather conditions already. There you can see the spray kicking up, which causes problems not so much as only for grip, but in terms of visibility as well. But there is the rain. But Badrul Hisham is used to Malaysia. He is used to these conditions.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he's certainly made the most of this. Look at the lead he's got. He's really done that job of getting up to the lap time straight away. He's left everyone in his wake, but look at the field behind him all bunching together now. Oh, one of them's ride. That could have been Yuki Ito, who's run wide, but that's allowed Yudhishthira to go through, so that's Yudhishthira now making a bit of move. Look at the difference in the track here. It's almost dry.
Incredible. 60-30, take your pick. Let's make a gamble. There is Amadou Destera on the Victor Racing team. He's currently in 2nd place. Everyone obviously just a little bit wary, a little bit cautious, but Apiwat is in 3rd and Yuki Ito is in 4th. It's completely reversing, I think, what we expected this 1000cc to look like. But that is the joy and the gamble of rain. As they come down the straight, there is the problem for the riders, the rain.
Oh, I mean, look how heavy that is. That is super heavy. And I mean, you can just see it now on the track there. That is so different conditions there. And what happens is, Des, is you start to aquaplane when it gets that heavy. But these Dunlop tyres are doing a very good job of dispersing that water out there at the moment. We can see the yellow and red flag out there. That's just to let the riders know how wet the circuit is here. I mean, look at the difference from lap after lap. And we've got somebody off there. Did you see? Oh!
Farid Badrul is already through. The lead is Steve Martin. 8.2 seconds for Farid Badrul Hisham.
Yeah, it's an incredible lead after such a short amount of laps. But I'll tell you what, the fight for 2nd place is pretty tough. There's Thitipong just rounding up around the outside of Yudhishthira now as well. So Yuki Ito, he's obviously good in the way. Oh, we've got a baller. Is that... that's not Aslan Shah, is it? No, that's the leader.
It is Badrul. Farid Badrul Hisham. He gambled.
Oh, we've got
another. Wow. Gosh, conditions clearly going the worst for wear.
Not sure who that 2nd faller was.
It means Yuki Ito is okay, so Ito's in the lead. It might have been Yudhishthira. I have an idea it's Amadou Destera who's another victim.
Yudhishthira's gone down.
So the first 2 both just sliding out, impossible conditions to control as they came down the hill.
Well, when you're riding 2 seconds a lap quicker than everybody else, there's a reason for it. You're risking a lot more.
There's still a long way to go. There's still a lot of racing, a lot of potential accident spots.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you've got a guy like Zakwan Zaidi there in second position. He'd love to win this race. So he'll be just, although he looks smooth, he'll be pushing just that little bit more to try and catch up to Yuki Ito. We've already seen Yuki moving around and have a few little twitches here and there. Chai Witchett, of course, in third position. I mean, can you imagine what his thoughts are right now? He's in a podium position in this race.
Aslan Shah goes into the pits. Now, that's bad news and good news. The good news is he's not off the bike. The bad news is he is now. Ito leading. The gap was 1.2. It's now to 1.4. But in these conditions, Zakwan might feel that there's an opportunity later on. But you don't want to throw points away by crashing.
No, and it's just so easy to do. You think that you're in front, you think you're not taking a risk, and before you know it, you're sliding down the road. There's Rajan Krishnan. He's still out there getting points. Look at that, sliding sideways onto the ripple strip. Oh, that is so lucky. There's not a lot of grip out there on the paint, but he manages to get away with it and tips it in. Nice little look at Rajan Krishnan there.
He's in as a replacement. He's probably going to flip it. What am I doing? Up at the front, though, Yuki Ito still leading. Really good. Titipong is taken by Chai Witchett. Chai Witchett, Nisiko. Whoa, nearly lost the back end.
If you have a look at the knee scrapers on Zakwan Zaidi as well, on his knees, he's got the wet weather knee scrapers on, which are like 2 times as thick. Oh, that's one of the Ducatis down. Is that... I think that is, I'm not sure which one it is, but...
it's Serapika, Jonathan Serapika. They're trying to get him back out, and they've got to work through the gravel. Are they able just to get enough traction? I think they're going to get him back on the track, or are they? Come on, Jonathan, work it, work it.
Back out front as the laps go down. Zakwan Zaidi now up the inside, and he's made that move. He's got in really deep. You can see him for the first time. He's out sideways, but he's pulled that manoeuvre off and taken the lead. Now we're going to see some sparks flights. One thing to follow in the wet, but it's another to lead. What has Yuki Ito got up his sleeve? But look at Zakwan Zaidi. He's really pulled out a massive gap in one corner.
So it is Zakwan Zaidi who has a lead, and it's quite a considerable lead. Think that's great advice. You just keep that brain ticking over, nothing too fancy. Your lead is 3.1 seconds.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, he's still going in quite deep into turn 1 there. Knee on the ground through turn 1. How much spray do you like? It's as wet can be out there at the moment, but he's not slowing down there on the final lap of this race. He's giving it absolutely everything through this section. I'm not so sure he knows how much of a lead he's got.
3 seconds is the lead, 3.1 seconds, and Ito just holding off Chai Witchett. Oh, and Chai Witchett goes, pushing just a little bit too far. There is the danger. Chai Witchett misses his chance of a podium. Ito is now into 3rd place.
You can see no one's there, but he knows now. He knows he's got enough of a gap. He's just got to try and hold it all together, but sometimes that is harder than it sounds. As he heads up through turn 9 and into turn 10, it's not much further to go for him now. Just downhill, a little bit off camber at this point of the circuit. Loads the front. You can just see the front working away there on that Honda CBR 1000. Big squirt on the brakes again, hard on the brakes, tipping it in, just feathering it, trying to keep it as upright as he can. Doing everything. He's got everything crossed out there at the moment, Des. This right-hander, he knows he's almost home now as he heads down this back straight for the final time. And he doesn't even need to look over his shoulder. He knows there's clear ground behind him.
Zakwan Zaidi, this has been a consummate race in hugely difficult positions. His pit lane crew are now getting ready to celebrate a P1, a 25-pointer for Zakwan Zaidi. He crashed out yesterday. We didn't really know why. He's got it all right this time. Zakwan Zaidi of Malaysia, Honda Asia Racing Dream Team with Showa takes the victory. And a fabulous 25 points for Zakwan. Titipong in second and Yuki Ito takes third.
Yeah, what an impressive ride by Zach Zayedi there. That was brilliant stuff by him to win this one in what was treacherous, difficult conditions out there on track. And boy, it was raining pretty hard at some points throughout that race. Team Honda, how happy are they with that? That's an incredible result for them. They worked hard all weekend. They had so much disappointment yesterday. And I tell you what, Zach Zayedi certainly deserved that one.
Zach would go on to win 2 more races that season as the Honda Asia Dream Racing Team finished 4th in the team standings with 3 race wins and 3 second-place finishes. And the team are the subject of today's 2 quiz questions. Team manager Makoto Tamada was a fabulous rider in his day, winning races at both the MotoGP and World Superbike Championships. Can you remember from our earlier report, though, exactly how many races he won combined in those 2 championships? How many race wins combined for Tamada at World Superbike and MotoGP? Second question, how many wins did the Honda Asia team record in their debut 2019 season in the SB 1000 Championship? A clue, it was more than 1. The Asian Road Racing Championship is back at the end of March, and with Idemitsu's blessing, we hope to be back then as well to bring you the very best of Asian road racing. And that's our show, and also the end of a 16 edition season 2 of the Asia Motorsports Hour. We hope, courtesy Idemitsu, to be back when the ARRC season starts at the start of April, end of March. Before we go, though, a big thanks to producer Push Baraja and our video editors. Some fabulous work put together over the last 4 months. And thank you for your company and your comments on the ARRC Facebook page. Just for now, though, I'm Des Corkill, signing off from the Asia Motorsports Hour.